Welcome to Everything Carleton County. I am your host, Tanika, and I have the awesome privilege of sitting here with Vanessa, and we're going to have an interesting show for you today. It's a topic that I don't think is covered enough, and it's about raising multiracial kids. So welcome to the show, Vanessa.
Thanks, Tanika.
Great. So can you tell me a little bit about your family, who's in it, and what you love most about living in Carleton County?
So I am an independent mom of 4. My first 3 children are from a previous marriage. They are 13, 10, and 7. And then I have my daughter who is 2, and she is Afro-Canadian. We recently moved here from Nova Scotia in 2021, but I actually grew up in the area, so I'm very familiar with the place. And I would say what we love the most is being close to friends and family. It's very important when you are raising a family, especially when you're flying solo. We're very active in the community with sports and recreation. My boys play basketball. My daughter does gymnastics, and in the summer they enjoy swimming and soccer. Also, they like dirt biking, camping, and myself, I like to go for little drives around the countryside. We really enjoy sunsets and the St. John River.
Of course.
So yeah, we stay fairly busy. We're a busy family.
When did you realize that raising a mixed race child would have its own unique moments?
As soon as I found out I was pregnant, the thought crossed my mind. But because I was having her independently, I think I was more focused on that. But I remember a specific moment in time when she was maybe 6 weeks old. You know, when you have a new baby and you're just like admiring them. And she was starting to get the pigment to her skin at that time, and her hair was very curly. And I just remember thinking, I'm going to need some support. And I think that realization there was a big moment in time for us. Yeah.
I remember that moment, actually.
Yeah.
We shared that moment.
Yeah, I
together.
reached out to Tanika.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned that your daughter Jasmine is Afro-Canadian and your other children are not. Has there been any questions that they've ever asked about their sister?
Yeah, well, the boys haven't really asked too much because I think they're older, so they just, I think, have had that thought process on their own. Or because their sister has answered those questions for them. Yeah, because she's 7, so she's more curious. And so she has asked me before about Jazzy's hair. Where does she get her curly hair from? And she has asked about the color of her skin. Why is it different than ours? And I just explained to her that the other half of where Jasmine comes from is a different color, and then it was mixed together with me. And that's what happens when you have a baby with somebody that's of different ethnicity and from a different part of the world. And she understood. Yeah,
I thought that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Has there been ever any awkward moments that you've had just from day to day, in the public? Things like that?
So the majority of the time, we live life as usual. It flows. But there was one time when she was an infant, when I had mentioned about her hair. I wrote a post in a mom's group asking for help and had used a term that was considered derogatory in the Afro-Canadian community, and I got a lot of backlash from it, and I was full of hormones because I was 6 weeks postpartum, and my question didn't come from a place of racism towards my daughter or anything like that. It just came from a place of, I understand that there's a different part of her that I'm not fully educated on, and I would like some help from that. It just came across the wrong way because I was still naive. I deleted the post, but I think I focused too much on the negative comments because I did have some really nice women that reached out afterwards and did give me some tips and support. But yeah, I just hope that in the future, if another woman is in a similar situation as myself, that she won't keep an experience like that from stopping her, from continuing to ask for support. Right. You're not a bad mom because you use the wrong terminology. Right. You just learn from it and you move on. One time on the playground, and it was kind of cute. It was just a curious question from another child that just said, "Is that your little girl?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, her skin's not the same color as yours." I said, "No, it's not. And sometimes that happens." And she just continued on playing, and that was it. But I knew the parents of the child, so I just asked the daycare if they could just kindly let the parents know that she was inquiring so that they could have further conversations about it with her at home.
If there's a few things that you could say that you wish people knew or did, what would that be?
I wish that people would educate their young children and youth about diversity and inclusiveness and get more involved. Okay. Yeah. And to always be kind, because you never know what people are going through and how hard it can be sometimes to feel accepted for your difference.
Exactly. During Black History Month, my organization GAMP has partnered with the LP Fisher Library to bring you Afro-Canadian Storytime. During our time together, we do an arts and craft and learn about Black Canadian history. Follow LP Fisher Library on Facebook for registration details. And while at the library, check out their selection of books on diversity. Is there anything else you want to say to a mom who's out there, has a mixed race child and may feel in isolation?
Just reach out to anybody. If you see somebody that you think that you can trust. Well, myself, I posted in the Facebook group, and I did eventually get the help that I needed, even though I came across the wrong way. There were people that understood that I was in need of support, and there are people that really want to support you, such as yourself. Okay. We went not grocery shopping, but we went to the grocery store and we shopped for hair supplies and products, and you came over and you helped show me about Jasmine's hair, and that's something that we're always going to appreciate. Right. Yeah. Aww. And value for sure.
And thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
For sure. And so if you see Vanessa or her daughter in community, let's be kind.
Say hi.
Say hi. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Everything Carleton County, and we'll see you next time. If you've been thinking about joining this series on raising multicultural kids, consider this your invitation. Your story could be the one someone else needs to hear. Contact us at everythingcarletoncounty@gmail.com.